Blessings, everybody. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today I'm coming to you with a message, and it's not a new message. It is actually one that I've repeated. But I think in order for us to learn, repetition is a good way of hearing the thing so it can sink in. There are three categories of people in the world: Negroid, Mongoloid, and Caucasoid. And of all the three categories, the Negroid are the ones who are at the bottom of the totem pole. Within the group, there are individuals who have decided that they are going to chart their own territory, and they're going to do what is necessary for them not to be seen or treated as a slave. But the majority within this group, instead of looking at how the ones who got out, the ones who say progress, the ones who say any means necessary, instead of looking at how they do their thing, what the other Negroids do within the group is to find ways to be like parasites, to trample upon the self-esteem and the self-respect of individuals who determine for themselves that they are not going to be controlled. So when we look at a place like Jamaica, for example, where you have a few elite, a handful of elite controlling and determining the existence of every individual in that country, and you see the mass people in Jamaica sit there year after year and suffer and complain. They whine and they biatch all year long, all year round. And it's not just Jamaica, it's a Caribbean thing, it's an African thing for the most part. We don't look at those who have got out and say to ourselves, what have you done? How can I learn from you? What you do with parasitic nature, you sit there and find ways, or you can entrap, or you can betray, or you can destroy those who got away. But it's not their fault that you're a loser. It's not their fault that you're such a coward. It's not their fault that you are an eternal slave. They can't live their life because they want to make you comfortable. So when you continuously see people who say progress, who say I'm determined to make it out, I'm determined to do something different for myself and my children, it's not their fault that you are a loser. What am I talking about today? I'm talking about Jamaican people. I'm tired of you all. I'm tired of your mentality, your hateful ways of trampling upon people, destroying your own people, saying all kind of BS about people you don't know anything about. Now, I'm going to talk about Alkaline this morning, and I'm a big defender of Alkaline. You know why? Because he's a youth. He's a little young guy, and I don't see what he's done so terribly that you have a bunch of vultures always calling up the guy's name. Hungry people and people with money alike. What is your problem? Why don't you look at your government and see how they have cuckolded you? Why don't you go to the community where you live, where the potholes are so deep that if one of you fall in there, you die? Why don't you go to your member of parliament and tell them to create the better situation for you, or fix your schools, or fix infrastructure? Why don't you ask them to create some factories to give you something to do, so you're not sitting around and looking and talking about man like you're into man? I mean, I've never seen people talk about a youth and call him a fish so much, and it's mostly men. So if you're not a fish, why you talking about another man? Why you obsessed with the other man? So what if he's a fish? So what? He's a big fish, because guess what? He's out there in the world and he's doing things. And what you guys do, just talking about, you're a disgrace. You're a big disgrace. I'm tired of you all. The Mongoloid and the Caucasoid, they're kicking your butts. You're their slaves, and you forever will be their slave. Those who decide that they're not going to be a slave and want the respect of self and others, they go out there. They don't have time to be tearing down one of their own brothers. He's a youth. Some of you talking big gray tone men. Some of you have never done nothing in your lives. But you're talking about a youth. Some of you have had experiences in the same music fraternity. You did nothing with yourself. You're just bad mind. You're just angry at the youth. You're so young that he's a great business person. He has his head on his body. Some of you are losers. You were in the music industry and you had other mans pimping you. Other music producers and other people within the industry pimp you. And now that you're older and your music career is over, you're angry with the youth because the guy learned from your mistakes. That's your problem. And those who are hungry and thirsty and naked and homeless, you can't help but hate him. But that's not how it should be. You should be encouraging him. You should be looking at him to motivate yourself instead of living on him. I went to a function and I see this artist that I used to admire, and the guy goes on stage to perform. And instead of performing, the guy you're talking about Alkaline, you're a loser. Alkaline, how many times am I going to tell you? Continue to do your thing. Chart your territory. Go out there and do big things. And mad them. Make them mad. Mad them go mad. And do more song about it. Don't talk about no emotion because these people are dead. Don't talk about nothing deep. Talk about the shallow stuff because they're just dead. They can't think deep. If you try to talk about deep things and, you know, when deep meets deep, they can't handle that stuff. They say you're depressed. So guess what? Give it to them. Make the bad mind kill them. But don't show them your things. Don't show them your stuff. Because when you show them your stuff, you're setting yourself up for them to come and kill you. And if you can avoid Jamaica, avoid Jamaica. And stay wherever it is you are in the world and try to do your thing. You are a genius. And that's how they hate geniuses. Bad mind is just going to kill them. They're negroid. They are like parasite upon each other. Parasitic nature. I live in a community and I see the group, a particular group, and I watch them closely and I see how they're progressing. And I know they have internal conflict. We're human beings, there must be internal conflict. But at the end of the day, these guys celebrate each other. There's not a day that goes by where someone doesn't ring my doorbell and is trying to promote somebody else's business. Oh, vote for this one. You know, let me sell your house. Let me buy a house for you. Buy from me. Go to my friend. Go do this or that. This is how they do it. A community effort in continuing to build so that before you know it, this country is taken over by these individuals because they're in every position that counts. But no, not in the little Jamaica where the potholes are deep like the valley. Not in Jamaica where hunger and starvation licking people for days they cannot eat. They don't have time for that. They are busy ripping down somebody who's trying to get out. The youth did what he had to do. If he wanted to put blindness in his eyes to make him look like he's blind so you can notice him because he knows that you don't want to see him. You don't want to see anything positive. That's why he did that. And the little dirty lyrics that he did in his song, he did it because he knows that you guys are foul. He knows that he would have gotten your attention. If he came out singing gospel, you wouldn't have paid no mind to him. He had to speak dirty. He had to get to your level because you're foul. Most of you are foul. You're foul. So the guy know he has to think dirty. You guys not positive. All who coming out here talking about positivity and this and that about the guy and this. Most of you are the ones who are doing threesome, inviting the young girls to come and do nasty things with you. And you're going to tell, so what if you talk about it? It's what you're doing. All the stuff that he talked about, he just exposed your nastiness. So what you guys are vexed about is not the fact that he said these gross things. It's because he's exposing what you're up to. Who vex? Who vex? Every person who is doing things to better themselves in Jamaica, you all tear them down, you rip them apart. Every person who come out here to try to encourage you and say this can be done. Don't wait for government. Don't wait for handout. Don't wait for other people from places in the world to come give you cans of food. They try to show you, but you don't want to learn. Like vultures, like parasites, you just want to continue to pick on the youth, to pick on every person who say progress. There are people who are social media personalities who create a platform just to tear down another one who has a platform. You guys are disgusting and I'm tired of you. Some of you are not worth Some of you are so disgusting that when they took you on the slave ship to carry you wherever they were carrying you, you all should have drowned. I'm tired of you. Leave the youth alone. Because it's only a matter of time before you find somebody else's blood to suck like vampires. You guys are disgusting. I'm tired of you all. Big, great tone people. Every day living on the little guy name. It's a child, it's a young boy. He's a youth. Uno shame. Shame him, shame uno. Because uno can't believe. So uno spend all these years in the music industry and some of you got nothing. And the little youth come out, and because he's not telling you business, and because he's not begging your friendship, you all hate him. You all hate him. Same way you used to hate Vybz Kartel. Many people still hate him too, because guess what? He refused to compromise his own standard. He refused to bow down low and worship like you. He refuses to kick and lick boots. You don't like people with those personality. But those are the people in the world who are winning. Those ones who decide that me, I'm my own man, I'm my own woman. I am going to go out there and I'm not going to look at the things that held me back. I'm going to look at the things that are going to push me forward. I'm tired of you all. Leave the guy name out of your mouth. Leave him alone. Other artists and other people are like, bad man on a bad man. Leave the kid. Let him prosper. Alkaline, stay away from Jamaica because they're dirty. You're not the first one they do it to. And you will not be the last. Let them stay there. Leave them to their own dirty, wicked intention. The MANGOLOID and the Negroid will fix them up nice and good and continue to use them as their little wash rag.